Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. I'm joined by who are you today? Dulcelinio.
Dulcelinio's back, mate, baby.
Yeah, that's it. He left for 10 minutes yesterday, but he's back now. And we've got and we're joined by Phil and hopefully Father Jack. I'm sure he'll be with us soon. He's probably had one too many and can't figure out how to work that's the word StreamYard. But yeah, so what are we doing? What are we doing today? We're going to be going over the game that we all just watched. The good win at home to Wolves, an expected win. We're going to be going through doing the player reviews and player ratings, and then we're going to be taking questions from all you guys as well and engaging with all of you. And importantly, sort of. Because obviously we can't move away from the fact that it wasn't vintage football. We do know that Moyes was skating on thin ice at this game. In fact, I don't think Bruno Lage is going to survive this. So I think whichever manager lost this game today was up shit creek. David Moyes has got he's giving himself a bit of breathing space here. We'll get into it. Oh look, Mike's here. Here's Mike. Hello, Michael.
Sorry, being granddad.
Right? That's all right, mate.
Being a granddad, sorry.
No worries. Right, I just done the intro, Mike. We all watched the game today. You did as well. You weren't in Chesterton this week.
Yes, with the grandson.
You've taken notes today as well. So
I have.
You know, I'll watch the game back because I'm quite sad. I didn't go to the game today. I was supposed to be, but I ended up not going. My initial reaction was one of look. I know it weren't vintage football. It wasn't, but I think I was a lot happier than maybe I should have been. I'm just happy with the 3 points, and I'm happy with the fact that we got. There were some good individual performances there. There were some players that haven't been playing well that did play well today. Namely, Bowen. I think he was fucking outstanding. Bowen today. That was good to see.
That was Bowen's great game. That was brilliant.
Yeah. It was really good. I mean, like I say, we'll talk about individual performers when we get into the player ratings bit. But I've tweeted earlier on, and I said I think this is probably the first time I can ever remember where the lineup was almost as important as the game itself. We was all waiting for that. We was all waiting for that lineup because we all knew. We was all saying before the game, as well as getting 3 points, what we all needed to see from David Moyes was change. Was that he's going to at least try and change and use these players and bring these players in. The obvious one that had to come out that we've all agreed with was Soufal. He's been damaging to West Ham for some time now. He did it. He took him out of the team. He did the for us it was an obvious change, but look, at the same time he's done it. He's pushed Kehrer out to the right. That allowed Dawson to come back in, and wasn't that good to see Dawson back in the team as well today? He was superb.
But why did every news outlet had Dawson as a right back?
Yeah, he weren't a right back.
Crazy.
I mean, well, the thing is, it shocked me because we all saw the lineup, right? So we knew the players that were going to be selected, but we didn't know how we were going to set out. So the minute it kicked off, you could see we was in the back three. Kehrer was playing right wing back. Fournier was left wing back. You had Cresswell, Zuma, Dawson as a back three. Rice and Souček, who played well today. It's funny enough, I didn't want Souček in the team, but I'll hold my hands up. He had a bloody good game. And then you had Paqueta, and Bowen. Yeah.
Second half, Souček for me. First half,
he played all right. He did a job.
Yeah, he played all right.
Yeah, he wasn't damaging but he wasn't damaging to the team today. I don't think.
No. Well, the first half there were a couple of bits, but yeah. Okay.
What, misplaced passes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know.
I think for once as well, even early on, sorry, mate, is Rice and Souček. For recent weeks, they've been there's been that worry, where are the goals coming from, who's pushing from midfield, and at times they both look like who's going, me or you. And today they looked like they knew what they were doing. They were holding back, and when they did contain, they played the ball sensibly and didn't play silly sort of 40-yard balls.
Well, he kept it simple today, Souček, which is, look, let's be honest. Souček, if you give him a job to do, I think he'll do it. I think there has been a little bit of I don't know, a power battle between Rice and Souček in central midfield, which is fucking bizarre. It's mad. There shouldn't be. But Souček, he was back. No, but he was back to his kind of what he can do. If you give him a simple job to do, he can be really good at it. Do you know what I mean? And he was good today. He was sort of back to being a destroyer today, which is kind of how I remember him. I know he used to score goals, but when he first came in, he used to put himself about a bit, didn't he?
Yes.
And you know, and he was there was a lot more. Yeah, there was a lot more of that today. But anyway, Mike, in terms of the lineup, how did you feel at 4:30 when that team was revealed?
Well, Souček was terrible. And
yes,
Cresswell was always Cresswell with me. I feel we paper over this Souček, then we've got Cresswell there, and then we put a player on like Claret. He's going to get slagged by everyone because he's covering Cresswell. And then when he gets injured, what do? We bring on Fornals.
Yeah, no.
We go to cover for Cresswell.
Well, that was an odd one. I mean, we'll get to that one in a minute. That was a bit of a head scratcher, that substitution, especially when you've got a left wing back that we've just paid 18 million for sitting on the bench. But yeah, what were your thoughts, Phil, on that starting? Was there some? Did you think that looks good on paper? Was you thinking that?
I was happy to see Scamacca and Cornet starting. Frankly, even after the game, I don't want to fast forward too much, but some of the comments Moyes is saying about Scamacca is like, he's been out 3 weeks with a virus, he's still getting up to speed, he's only 23. He banged in 16 goals in Serie A last season for Sassuolo, for fuck's sake. He's like 4th or 5th top scorer in the Italian league. Geezer knows what it's about. Yeah, I understand he has to get up to speed. And this is the perfect game to play him against them because Wolves do play a different tempo game to the rest of the Premiership. I know it's a big Portuguese influence there. And they try and play quite methodically. There is an absolute style to the way they play. Especially with those three up the front. And I thought they countered that and they set up really nicely. And do you know what? I was well happy to see Kehrer out on the right instead of Kufal. I love Kufal, don't get me wrong. He's a warrior in the sort of Lampard, Billy Bonds kind of mould. I love all that. But if he ain't performing, just like any other player, they've got to have a turn out of the team. And Kehrer, he plays that position for Germany. He was superb today. A steal at £10 million, absolute steal. Crazy buy that was. But
John, I had a chat with Gary earlier on. As we know, he's in Butlins. Gary will be back next week. He's on a Scar weekender. He was out till 3 a.m. dancing to a Scar weekender. Yeah, but yeah, his opinion is that he thinks that the pressure from the board and everything this week has almost forced Moyes into a lot of these changes. That's what Gary thinks. See, for me, I think I do kind of align with that because you can't say he's not felt pressure. The comments by Matt Law earlier in the week, which were clearly fed from the board, were we've spent all of this money on players. We've spent all of this money, on Cornet, Paqueta, Scamacca. There was a clear message there that he had to start using these players. Now, I think with Scamacca and Antonio, he had a bit of a tap in there because Antonio was obviously jet lagged because he flew back from the US late in the week. So he had a. Do you think, if that wasn't the case, do you think Antonio or Scamacca starts this game?
Antonio started, definitely.
John,
look. At the end of the day, whether his hand's been forced or not by Antonio arriving back from the States or whatever, at the end of the day, we was all happy with the starting lineup. Mostly, right? There was probably a couple Michael said Cresswell and other players he thought maybe. I was very happy with the starting lineup personally. I still wanted Scamacca to play a full 90 minutes. I think it's important.
I did.
For a striker not just to score a goal, but even if he didn't score today, I think his all-round performance was brilliant. I thought he was at times. At times, he was dropping so deep.
He was actually pushing people up the park as well.
But when he drops, he becomes like a playmaker. Yeah. Because some of his passing is unreal, I've got to say. Yeah. And there was one instance in the first half, someone played a ball at him quite sort of mid-drift, quite fast-paced, and he brought it down with so much ease from behind himself. I thought it was brilliant. So, look, we can get into the whole Antonio Scamacca debate until the cows come home. But for me, after that performance...
We're playing together.
Yes, well, is what I was going to say again. Listen.
The only thing is, I'll say, John, I'll let you finish. But what I will say is, I think we saw a partnership between Scamacca and Bowen that I don't think that we've seen before in the front two. There was a bit of a partnership
because like we said off camera, having Kera at right back or right wing back, whatever it is, it allows Bowen the freedom a bit more to not worry about covering Soufal. And then maybe that freed up Bowen to form that partnership that we saw a little bit of today with Scamacca. Whether Moyes' hands has been forced by the board, the fan pressure, Antonio not getting back or not, the changes were there. We were predominantly happy with most of it. And I've got to say, look, I'm not going to overcook it. We weren't vintage, but there was some performances out there by individuals that can't be questioned. Bowen was good.
I think individual performances. I think you struggle to find a bad one.
Well, I don't know. I've got to say, I have to say. I'll be honest with you, and maybe
you're going to say Cornet, yeah.
No, I'm not going to say Cornet. He was only on the pitch half hour.
I'm going to say Rice.
I was just going to say it, mate. What I will say first of all, Declan Rice, his touches today were awful.
It was heavy.
He was having heavy touches. He was having to chase his own heavy touches. What I will say about Cornet, Mike, is that I mean the ref today was a little bit, obviously in the stadium you get caught up in it, so you might have watched some of the things back. I thought he was letting a lot go for them personally, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I did feel that Cornet, I think Cornet goes over very easily at times. That's what I will say. I'd like to see him stand on his feet a little bit more because there's no doubt his pace and his ability and his trickery. But I think he's been in the Premier League with Burnley, and I'm quite surprised how easy he seems to go down.
Well, I think he marked it.
A little bit frustrating to me.
I might have been told by Dyche to get the free kicks.
Maybe, but I think he had his card marked by the ref, John. I think you're right early on in that half because he went down. It was very theatrical right in front of the ref. The ref went no. He went get up like that, and I think once you do that, then obviously the ref knows, I suppose, what you're all about.
It's a bit like Zaha at Palace, isn't it? We all lambast Zaha for going down too easily. I'm not putting him in that category, but I want him to stay on his feet a little bit more.
Bowen had a few tumbles. Every time he gets touched, he does a few rolls. He does do it.
But he gets stamped on. I don't know what it is. Bowen actually, I think the way Bowen plays, he does get kicked, Mike. Because I think he chops out the way of the player at the last minute. He buys players. He does a bit of a roll, but if you have a look, at the playback,
he's always extended with his leg and thinking.
He does buy him. He does buy the foul. He buys the foul. But
Paqueta for me today was the guy who was eating the deck more than anything. Second half, it was embarrassing a couple of times.
Who?
Sorry, Paqueta.
Paqueta. Yeah.
Paqueta.
Lucas.
I know Nick. I know Nick. Look, Nick questions the position he plays at West Ham and that, but I still think he takes one too many touches. I still think he needs to learn that in the Premier League you don't have the time on the ball that he's trying to get, and that's the problem. Scamacca's picked it up pretty quickly, I think, and I think Paqueta is struggling to adapt to the pace. I think Paqueta's struggling to adapt to the pace of the game.
His name is Paqueta.
Paqueta.
What is this, an English lesson or a football chat?
I don't know.
Yeah.
As a striker, you do tend to pick that up a lot more quickly because you're used to people coming at you, especially Italian league. Someone's right up your back all the time. So I do understand that, but even when I do think he got a little touch, he was rolling around. It's not for me.
Yeah, I do think with Paqueta though, I think it's going to take him a little bit longer because he's a technical player that's probably more suited to playing in a team like Wolves, who hold the ball a bit, move the ball around. I think he probably would benefit from having a lot more like-minded players in that team.
What's his best position for you, Nick? Is it a 10, number 10?
I don't know. I can't really work him out at the moment because I like him. I think he's a definite quality player, but I can't really work him out at the moment. What I do like about him is his heart and his hunger. He's a team player. Yeah. He's combative. He'll chase lost causes. He'll go in for tackles. He's not shy.
He'll get yellow cards.
We didn't really buy him for that though.
No.
Not for 50 million. We didn't buy him for that. So
yeah, but Nick, at the end of the day, mate, we're not telling him to do that stuff. He's doing that of his own desire and work ethic. I don't think
he's a team player.
Yeah, we bought him for one thing, but if he's going to do the other thing as well as that, that's brilliant. But you know, it's early doors. I'm not writing him off.
There were glimpses, John.
He's underwhelmed me a little bit at the minute. Still.
But there were glimpses.
Underwhelming for the money we paid, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not an village team, is it? He's not Payet. That's what I know. We're all thinking he's going to come on and go, right, 50 million Brazilian, Payet, bang, here we go.
Yeah. Listen, Payet went missing all the time in games as well. He'd have moments of brilliance, but there were 20-minute spells when he wouldn't go near the fucking ball. So, you know, he was never a messiah. Anyway.
Yeah, but when he did go near the ball, it fucking made magic happen, didn't it?
Yeah, so, this is true. This is true, but I think with Paqueta, we do see glimpses of it. I mean, if you remember today, he played a couple of beautiful passes. One of them in the first half first time pass through to Bowen.
Brilliant.
And that's what you're going to get with him, you know.
As well. That was the thing. He didn't even think. Just like bang, there's your pass.
Yeah, but who for you today was the biggest playmaker on that pitch? Who was the playmaker?
Biggest threat. You mean?
No, not threat. Who was the playmaker?
I don't think we really. It's Scamacca. Scamacca was.
Scamacca was the playmaker. He was doing it all. He was doing it all almost. Yes. You
know? We had nothing from central midfield really in terms of creativity.
He linked up everything. He tried to, and he was fucking.
But I think that was to nullify the Wolves' threat as well. The way they played and the way they set up. I'm still astonished when Traore come on. I was like, fucking hell, here we go. Cresswell must be shitting himself. He didn't go on there, right? He went on the left straight away.
He switched late on. He did switch late on, didn't he? But initially he went over that side.
Yeah. Cresswell must have been
Kehrer had him in his pocket, didn't he? He switched over to Cresswell's side.
Properly showed his pass,
Right, John, before we get into the first half, do you want to quickly run through the comments?
Yeah, mate, I've done a few hellos and goodbyes and whatever else, and Mike's had 10 pints already. I'm pleased for Moyes, but there was still an element of delusion in his post-match comments. He said we played better. He said we played better in other games. Not for me. More energy, move the ball quicker. Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes a manager is there to motivate, and he might be just trying to give the blokes a bit of a G up. It don't necessarily mean he means everything he says. I think there's a motivational side to that as well. Personally, I don't take everything literally. Mr. Mate. Big 3 points, but it wasn't great. No, I agree. Let's be honest. Cresswell absolutely skinned again, like he is every week. Can't keep playing him. Fair play to Souček and Bowen today. They did well.
I think we were lucky that Neto went off injured.
Yes. Yeah.
That made a massive difference. It made a big difference because there was a period in that first half where we couldn't get the ball off of them for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but that's how they play. They play that. I know they're Portuguese and that influence, but they sort of play that Brazilian tippy-tappy stuff, like almost like do you know futsal? Do you know what futsal is? Like indoor stuff.
Yeah.
They play that. They just move it, and they have a lot of possession, but they have no cutting edge. They have no cutting edge, in my opinion.
No. They don't. To be fair,
John says, "Can't believe."
Well, they lost 3 strikers, didn't they? Effectively,
they have. They lost 3 strikers, which is why
they did.
Good,
and they lost the centre back because what's his name had to go back at. In centre back, didn't he?
Well, Neves,
Neves, So
Neves,
probably their best player as well.
I know.
Somebody's questioning Souček. Can't believe some other channel said that Souček had a good game. Apart from winning us a free kick eventually on the byline, I thought he was poor again today. His passing is so poor.
His passing is poor, but I think there were positives as well from his game. I think he broke up play well. I wouldn't say he was anywhere near a man of the match performance or anything like that, but that was probably one of his better performances from this season, I would say, in my opinion.
I think we were lucky the fact that Wolves were let's not sugarcoat it. Wolves were shit.
Yeah, they were terrible.
If they'd have had a front three today that were on their game, that would have been in trouble. It would have been a different game.
Look. Let's not sugarcoat it, Phil. We had a 35-year-old Diego Costa come on who ain't played since January, and to be quite honest, he gave us a run around a little bit.
Yeah,
to a degree.
Well, he had an header.
Hang on a minute. You can only beat what is in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And so let's not go. We won, but Wolves are shit. We know they're crap.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
No. But we're not much better, are we? As the season's gone on thus far.
No.
So I
think the consensus, like certainly among people I've been speaking with after the game, was that if we'd have played a decent team of Brighton, someone like Brighton at the moment, that we wouldn't have won that. We would have struggled to get a draw. But we did what we had to do to win that game. And do you know what is refreshing?
Yeah.
For me, it was the fact that we actually got involved. We got in their faces. We chased people down. Because for the other games this season, especially in the Premiership, we have looked tired. We've looked lackluster. We looked like we couldn't give a fuck, really.
Yeah.
And today, we actually looked like we wanted to get involved.
We had energy.
Every single ball. That was a change for me.
I think also though, not to just keep going on about Craig Dawson, but when Traore come on early,
you can talk about Dawson.
No. But did you?
I know what you're going to say. The way he must have been out.
Yeah, but that's what you miss. That's what you miss, and every team needs one of them throwbacks, in my opinion, because when you've got that, a tackle is as good as a goal. When someone does that sort of thing, it G's the crowd up and it G's the players up.
It lets that player know as well what he's in for.
Yeah.
Give him a little nibble early doors.
Because Dawson just said you're fucking 25, I'm fucking 55. Gosh, here you go, mate.
Yeah. Right, let's go through some. Let's fly through some more comments quickly. Sorry, lads. Kehrer at right back made a big difference in my opinion as his forward passing was very good and getting runners like going in behind.
Bang on, Garino,
Kevin says, Hi all, hope you're well. Missed the game today due to a rail strike. Yeah, Michael was meant to be at today's game as well. I'd guess today there was probably about there was a good few thousand seats empty today, I've got to say. Yeah. So it did have an impact. And the traffic driving to the ground was awful, getting there and back.
Someone today give me a lift up there.
Who?
I was saying you.
Whatever. It was a decent reaction. It was a decent reaction, a weight off everyone's shoulders. That's it. It's a weight. It's a relief. Yeah. And hopefully, hopefully
it's something to build on as well, isn't it?
Yeah, acts as a catalyst. You know what I mean? I agree with Paul here. I did think Paqueta struggled as well. I'm sorry, I do think Paqueta.
Yeah, I thought he put himself about a lot, didn't he? But
I'm still want to know how you pronounce his name.
Paqueta. Just shut up.
Paqueta.
That's not how Sky would
Margarita Prakatan. Just speak of
So Souček will always play because of his defensive work. Still not playing to Paqueta's strengths because we defend so deep and don't retain possession. Got to start keeping the ball better. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. What do you reckon about this comment, Paul Riley? Fornals was shite again.
I don't agree with that.
Not having it. No one attacks a little general. Not on my watch.
He's even got a picture of Fornals on his. Oh my god!
I don't think Fornals was shit. But again, when you look at it, Fornals is a number 8. Okay, Fornals, his natural position is to play a central midfielder. He came on today to play left fucking wing back, didn't he?
What? To cover who?
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is he came on. So what I'm saying is it's very difficult to judge a player when they're not played in their blatantly not played in their strongest position. He's played in that position more for what he offers off the ball than what he does on the ball in that area.
So busy.
In that area. Yeah.
He had about 2 or 3 shots as well. They weren't great, but he was getting into positions and he played a few people in as well on the edge of the box.
Yeah, he wasn't a problem today.
If you're going to single anyone out for me in the game, it's not going to be Fornals. No.
Bowen was everywhere today and dislocating his finger, getting popped back in and carried on.
Yeah, that was grim. You wouldn't have seen that, John, would you?
I saw him. He was in agony because he was going like that, and the referee stopped the game.
His finger was literally fucking. It was the other way. So yeah, obviously that's had to be.
I said to the
be
boys earlier, I had that. When I play Sunday football, we used to go over to Kent to play for my mate's team. And I dived in the ground. We ended up, the other team didn't turn up, so we was doing between us and playing rush keeper. I dived in the ground and it stuck in. My finger stuck in, and it's points out like that. Not nice.
I think I passed out.
There'll be no foreplay tonight at home for her, will there?
No.
She might like it going the other way.
Or he can't play FIFA.
yeah, I saw that.
What we got here? So Glenn says, only way you get up to speed is play. I'd have kept Skamaka on for the full 90. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
100%.
Do you know? To stay on.
Sticking with Skamaka, and this is not a dig. You know, John. I've been one of Antonio's biggest. I love Antonio. I really do. Yeah. But do you know what? When you saw Skamaka today, there's different levels there, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? You're like fucking hell.
Nick, it's not only Nick.
Wouldn't it be nice to have them both play together?
It's not different levels, Nick. It's different positions. Remember, the geezer's not a striker. We're looking at a proper striker. You know what Skamaka is, right? He is like, he's starting to remind me of Di Canio, and I know Di Canio's a legend, and to build him up.
No.
Listen, because he's gonna have it. He, in my opinion, today, to some extent, single-handedly influenced that game. And I'm not being overly dramatic, but he was dropping so deep at times, like Harry Kane does, and he was bringing others into play. That's the marking of a great striker for me.
Well, he's on the edge of the box. I'm on the mute button. He's not going to attack the. He's not going to attack the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box, is he?
No.
He sat back.
Yeah.
And he took that extra touch.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's a great goal. It was a great goal. Yeah. Great goal.
He could have lashed it. It's like I'm not comparing, but for me, if Antonio's in the same position where the ball falls to him, then he doesn't take that extra touch to settle himself and line the ball up. But he just swings at it.
Yeah,
fantastic goal. That's a natural striker doing his job.
Yes, it is, and you've just hit the nail on the head. We know Skamaka's a natural striker. He's an internationally world-class striker. Antonio has ended up front by mistake, pretty much. Let's be honest. He's been wedged in there because of the lack of buying of a striker for West Ham for 2 years. Let's not get away from that.
So Mike, you want them to play together? Do we play two up front?
Yeah,
because Moyes is very not going to do that. Or do we play him on the right, left then and drop corners?
Antonio, the freedom to roam to the left and Skamaka in the middle. They will fucking cause havoc together.
But hang on, Mike. Are you telling me that Skamaka and Antonio would have been more effective than Skamaka and Bowen today?
No, not at all.
So in that sense, Moyes did get it right playing them two together because I think
they are forming a partnership. Which God damn, that sounds really weird.
It does. But the thing is as well, Antonio. Look, we know he's not getting any younger. Is it bad? Is it? I think is there a better impact player? Having a player like Antonio, you can bring off the bench with 30 minutes to go to play against tired legs at the back. That's an asset, isn't it?
Just both together, just for once.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether we'll see it.
John, Mancunian Hammers just put a comment up a couple of minutes ago. If we win the next 4 games in that fashion, I'll take it. We're not going to play like 1970 Brazil, but we have a team who can win games, get up the table, and win your overconfidence. I can do that myself.
Look, don't get me wrong.
I will take that performance for the next 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, Mancunian Hammer. If we win the next 4 games, if we win, if we beat Fulham, let's look at the next 3. So if we beat Fulham, we beat Southampton, we beat Liverpool. If we win those 3 games, then that's fine. And then we are.
How many points? Yeah. How many points? What do you reckon from that lot?
Well, 7. I don't know. Well, you got to look. Yeah. Well, you got to go back to the. You got to go back to the 4. You got to go back to the 4 game thing, which is what they said he had. So I don't know how many points do you reckon that he needed from those 4 games? I think he needed probably 7. Is that what we all said? 7 points from those 4 games.
Yeah, I reckon you know.
So he's got 3. He's got 3 on the board already. So he needs 4 more. I think he's got to beat Fulham.
Draw and a win then.
Yeah.
Out of 3 games.
Well, look. What I will say is, I felt like I felt today when we got those 3 points. I felt like that after Spurs. I think I did a video saying our season has just started. We've kick-started because it was a good performance. We've been there before. Okay, so what's important now is consistency. Is now going into that next game against Fulham and getting another bloody win.
So was you, after seeing the selection, Nick, and after seeing the formation, you didn't want Wolves to go and score, did you?
No, not at that point. No. No. Look, listen. I said to you before.
I know what you said. That's what I'm bringing it up. What you said.
Yeah, but if we I'll be open and honest. I think if David Moyes had been stubborn and have played exactly the same fucking team, set out in exactly the same way, would have tried to grind out a 0-0 and then get a smash and grab, I would have been sitting there thinking, let's just get this over and done with. I can't sit through this anymore.
Yeah, and listen, we're both West Ham fans all our life. I can't get around that mentality, but
do you not think
I respect what you're saying, but I just can't get. I understand why you're saying it.
No,
I never want West Ham to lose. Don't matter.
Don't want West Ham to lose. But John, it's a bit of a good thing because we've been shit for about a year playing that way. Yeah. And if he's refusing to play another way without getting these other players in, what I'm thinking is, John, what is good for West Ham? We could literally go out and get another manager that could get these players in, or we could just fucking sit with this bloke just doing the same thing over and over every week. No, fuck that. Who wants to watch it every week?
Yeah, but listen what I'm going to say to you.
Go on.
It weren't vintage today. Right? No. Mancunian Hammer has just said, if we win 4 games like that, as if it was a terrible performance, maybe he's getting out or not great, whatever. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know.
It was a horrible performance.
So, was the selection and the style of play today enough for you to think, come on in, boys, turn it around? I want you to
the style of play was not right, but the effort levels were. What I wanted to see, first and foremost, was players taken out and players put in. And I wanted to see that the players hadn't given up on Moyes and that they was going to be basically putting in effort, because as we know, we're bottom of the running stats on the fucking league. We're bottom for sprints. We're bottom for everything else. That smacks of a team that have given up on the manager, So I wanted to see that. What we saw today was a group of players, however, playing okay individually, not playing very well as a team. We did enough to get the win, but he's got to build. He's got to build on that. He's got to build it. It wasn't good. It wasn't good tactically. The players played well, and we played against the poor team.
I don't think Declan Rice should be our captain.
You can't keep saying that, Mike.
Can we hit pause button on that and come back?
We'll come back to that after.
I was listening to the BBC commentary today, and who did they have? Michael Brown was commentating. Right? I don't necessarily like him as a player, but he made a good point, which was when the commentator mentioned, West Ham are bottom of the league or 19th on sprints and runs and challenges. He said, right, is that for the whole team? Is that the average for the whole team then? Because they've brought in 5 or 6 new players who aren't up to the speed of the Premiership. And I thought, that's a really good point, actually. But then I went, it's a great point, but it still doesn't make Declan Rice run any fucking faster and make those challenges. It still doesn't stop Souček making terrible fucking passes because the whole team has not been at the races. I'm sorry, they haven't at all. And as I'll say, as Nick said, today it wasn't, and John, you said it as well, it wasn't a vintage performance, but green shoots. What we saw today, it wasn't polished. It wasn't the finish article. It wasn't good enough to beat the likes of the top 4 teams week in, week out.
God no.
In my opinion, last season we were good enough to do that at times, a lot of the time. But it's green shoots. We saw effort today. We saw people giving a shit, closing people down, actually running around the place. And I think if you looked at average kilometres run a day, tackles run, all the rest of it, you'll see today's performance compared with the last 3 or 4, it'll be up. Definitely
it'll be up because again we had less possession, but we were pressing today. We were.
Do you think Declan Rice should be our captain?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Do you not, Mike? Yes. Do you not, Mike?
No, I don't. I think why? I don't think he's got the experience to lead a team.
Who would you give that captaincy to?
He's been in the Mike. He's been in the first team since he was 17.
But who? Go on, tell me who.
Doing it for 5 years.
You're saying take it off Rice. Pick a player who's going to be in that team every week and give it to him.
Zuma.
Oh come on! The geezer don't talk back. They don't say a word back there.
No,
he's not a leader. He don't say a word.
Dawson then.
Dawson's only just got back in the team. He's out of contract in this. He wants to go in January, didn't he?
You're on a wind-up, you soppy cunt.
You're on a wind-up, mate.
Yeah.
Looks like an American. He does sitting there with his big beard. Looks like he's from Texas or something. Look.
But yeah. Like I say, I need to see. Like I said, I felt like this once before this season, and that was after the Spurs game. And then it came sort of crashing down again for me. It wasn't tactically very good, but whatever happened there, they were motivated. The players were motivated. They went out there and man for man, we beat Wolves. Okay, we did. But what I'd like to see is us playing better football. We have got technical. But we have got. See, the thing is, right? You just said there we played Rice, Souček, and Paqueta. 50 million Brazilian midfielder in the middle. All of our creativity was coming from a striker that was dropping deep.
Yeah,
that isn't going to happen. We're not going to be afforded. You're going to have creativity. If against some teams, you're going to have to have more craft. And that's and you know our most creative player from open play statistically this year, and he ain't even fucking played that much. Is Ben Rama, but he can't get on the pitch.
Yay!
But he can't get on the pitch.
Listen, I'm one for reading between the lines, okay, and looking at evidence and trying to ascertain what people are actually trying to say. Yeah. And Moyes' interview after the game today, he alluded to the fact that a year or so ago, 2 years ago, we were second to none when it came to counter-attacking. We were the team to be counter-attacking, right? We're not set up like that anymore. And he says as much in the interview. He says, like, we've got new players in. We don't play in that fashion anymore. People have, he doesn't say it, but people did suss out that style of play. And we're playing differently now. It's getting those people who have played for that in that fashion for 18 months to know that we're playing a different way. We're going to try and play more possession. We're going to try and play more pressing. We're going to push people further up the pitch. And it's not really working. But
the thing is,
we looked our best today when Wolves had all the possession.
But Phil,
we're reverting to form.
Phil, I'm not seeing us changing our style in any way. All I'm seeing is our counter attack not working.
Yeah.
So I think we're playing the same way. We're standing back. We sit deep. We camp. We afford the opposition the ball. But the counter attack isn't as effective now because people typically don't allow us as much room in behind. The reason it was effective today, and this is the thing. I don't know why he hasn't capitalised on this before. John, you've said it. Because Scamacca, what he was doing, he weren't playing on the shoulder. And that fucker kept dropping deep in the hole.
Yeah.
He was dropping deep in the hole, and he was linking play, and he had an overlapping runner. I don't think we have changed style in any way. We still are set up.
No, I don't think we've changed style. But for me, this is why Scamacca now needs a run in the team constantly, because as much as Antonio does a particular job, when the midfield creativity isn't there or isn't on fire, somebody like Scamacca, like he did today, can drop deep and help out. He was playing like a number 10 at times today.
He was like a number 10. He played like Harry Kane.
Well, last season against Wolves, right? Last season against Wolves, we all remember that game. Lingard taking the piss, breaking, going around about 3 or 4 players, and that was all on the break. We looked really good by hitting that counter attack.
Yeah.
With Scamacca, Nick, perfect point. With Scamacca, we wasn't playing that out and out counter today. It was it was a little bit reminiscent of like the old Hartson days when it's like get it up to him, hold it up, bring other people into play. Scamacca he's not just a target man because as John said earlier, he brings a ball down, it's pelted at him mid-riff, and he's like instantly under control. Right, what are we doing with this then? I'm not flicking it on aimlessly with my head like Dale. Yes, there was a ball today where it's punting up. He's gone in. He's had a rough challenge. He's gone up with a guy, and he flicked it perfectly down into the running path of Bowen. And then run on and made himself available. That is what we want to see from.
I've said that on an earlier on in the season. One of the games I saw him play, I think it might have been in Europe. But I've never seen somebody who can pass so well with their head.
With his head.
His headers have a purpose. They're not just aimless flick-ons. It's like he's going, right, I'm going to pass it 20 yards to him, and he's like, bang. And
yeah, but John,
where does unbelievable, mate.
But John, where does that come from? Do you know we speak about Declan Rice, who's got amazing positional awareness? You could probably agree that when Declan Rice, when he's at his best, when he receives a ball, he knows where every other player is on the pitch.
Checking his shoulders.
Now that's Scamacca. When Scamacca goes up to win a ball, he knows where he's fucking
looking around.
Exactly. He knows. So he knows where to put the ball. You know, he hasn't got tunnel vision. He isn't just looking at the ball coming over to him. And
he's going to be held here by a mile.
I don't know. My money's on Kera.
A bit early for that. It's a bit early.
No, he dives in.
Yeah, I like him.
My money's on Cresswell. My money's on Cresswell.
Do you know,
Craven, Phil, you're in trouble, mate, because Craven used as a go at me. It's called the Premier League, not the Premiership.
Semantics. I'm an old fucker. Leave me alone.
Amateur.
I'm still talking. I'm still calling it League Division 1. Fuck off. Leave me alone. In all seriousness, though, it's like Forest away. I went to that game. Fantastic day out. The result was terrible, but I've never been to the City Ground before. It was a great experience. But they were doing classic old diagonal balls. They pick the ball up, knock it wide, hit the diagonal, and try and counter it into the middle. And do you know what? It wasn't always effective, but it was scary as shit because it really put us on the back foot. We don't do that often enough either. I know we've got. But I'll tell you who's the only player who tries to do that, Dawson, and he does it really well at times. His passing range is really, really good.
Yeah, but he also makes good. He makes good decisions, Dawson, as well. He doesn't hoof it long every time. I've noticed. So you watch him lately. He does it at the right time, and he can pick a pass as well.
Why every channel had him as a right back?
Listen, if Dawson had pace, he would be like a proper multi-million-pound player still, even at his age. If he had pace, he'd be phenomenal.
Listen, I'm going to say something now. Do you think Dawson, prime Dawson, when he's at his best for us, do you think he'd be a better option in the England team than Maguire?
Yes.
Fucking hell. You would, Nick.
No, John. No, come on, John.
Nick's got a bigger head than Maguire.
No, but
it's not as flat though.
At centre back, it's not as flat. No. Right, what's this?
The only reason he doesn't get a game is because he hasn't got any pace, like for England.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I've seen this comment a few times here. I think I've seen it before. So, how did Nick feel when Moyes replaced Cornet with Fornals and not Benny? I was fucking confused by that. I'll tell you what, I wasn't actually thinking Benny because Benny is a wing back. I thought no, but we've just paid 18 million for a left wing back, Emerson that was sitting on the bench. So I'm thinking, what was he done that for? But it became apparent because obviously he was planning on changing formation at half time, which is what he did. He went to his stock formation, didn't he? But yeah, stock that's
he went to his stock formation.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1. He went to, didn't he? After half time.
Another backhanded compliment there from Nicholas. Quick question about Ben Rama, as we were talking about him not coming on. Where would you play Benny? Please don't say on the left because he cannot use his left foot to cross the ball. Always cut back. Yeah, but they all cut back inside, don't they?
No, but that's his job. It's the same.
For me, he's a number 10, but we don't play him there.
No. I think. See. I think like today, like you identified earlier on, John, where you said we had nothing in terms of creativity other than from Scamacca. That's why I think you do need to get Benny in there because you do need in certain games you're going to need that little bit of sprinkle of magic, and he does give you that. You do need someone who can do something a little bit different. You can't,
and they have an understanding as well.
I think. Do you know what I'm worried about with Paqueta? But do you know what I'm worried about with Paqueta? Like Fornals is a cultured player, but Fornals is also a team player, and he will do as he's told. So that is why Fornals, he does his job. Moyes puts him in there more for what he does off the ball. I'm worried that this could happen. I'm worried this could happen to Paqueta as well. I think Paqueta could be that type of player.
Nick.
Yes, John.
You know you've got an A license, and you coach your boys on a Sunday. Right?
Yeah.
Do you not expect your boys to go out there and do as you tell them?
I don't tell any of them to not express themselves. You want them to express themselves. David Moyes. No. Listen. Wait. Whoa. You telling me David Moyes puts a team out there with all of these players, and he says, "Boys, go out, especially in that final third.
We're not Manchester City.
Yourself.
We can't go out and just all enjoy
it. You can in the final third.
Their own strengths.
If you've got an attacking player on the left or on the right in that area of the pitch, they can fucking express themselves. They can.
Yeah, they don't can. All have. But they also have to. You have to defend as a team these days. You can't carry 2 or 3. Only teams like City can get away with it because of the grand riches they've got, right? We haven't got that quality in every position on the bench throughout.
Okay.
We've got a better squad.
I'll tell you what, John, our bench looks a whole lot fucking better this season than he's ever done.
So much better. John, 1 minute. But you're saying, right, that we haven't got the quality in our squad, right, in our team, to even expect to go out and have maybe 51% possession at home against Wolves.
No. Listen, I said to you when I come back from the game today, I want us to take the game 2 teams more. Yes. But what I'm saying to you is every player on the pitch these days has a defensive duty. Defending starts
all
from
of our players have a defensive duty.
Right, what's that?
All of our players have a defensive. It's 90%. It's not in a Moyes team. Do you know what, John? Also, and this is the other thing as well. When you're regressed and when you are up against it, sometimes the best way to keep another team away from you, you'll agree with this as well, is to push them back and to peg them back.
Yeah,
nothing pisses me off. Nothing pisses me off more than when you just regress and you sit back with 2 deep banks of 4 and you say, "Have the ball, see if you can break us down." That to me, that's not. It's not tactical genius to do that.
Watch how fucking Scamacca was going. Push forward.
Yeah, I know. He was trying to drag him up.
So your benchmark should be you look at the best teams in the world currently and try and emulate them, in my opinion, because they're great at doing what they do.
Yeah, but
so look at the Barcelonas of this world.
Look at Brighton.
When Barcelona don't have the ball, you've got 2 or 3 players pushing, harrying, closing people down, not giving people time on the ball. Like when you sit back, you give the opposition the possession. You give them time to make.
You're missing the point of what I'm saying. You're missing the point of what I'm saying.
No. Go on, John. Sorry.
What I'm trying to say is, in possession, I want us to do all the things you're just saying. But what I'm saying is, when you haven't got the ball, the player. Everyone, no matter how much flair they have, has to help out defensively. That's all I'm saying.
We all agree on that.
I'm not saying play defensively.
Yes,
I'm saying
they do.
That's what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying.
I'm
not
saying
I think we agree.
But do you know the fundamental reason why we have an issue with not having possession in the passing game? Because we've all said it before. A passing team will pass and move, and that starts from the back as well. Pass and move. We don't. We pass and sit because the most important thing in a David Moyes team is shape. Give it to someone else, but don't leave no fucking space. That is why we struggle to hold possession. Because if you had a fluid team, you risk your shape because people start moving around, the pieces start moving. That's the whole reason. So I don't think with the way that we play, it doesn't matter really what pieces you put in there. Even fucking Paqueta. You know, we could probably put Mbappe in there. I don't know. I don't think it would improve, but I don't think it would really improve our passing stats. I'll tell you this, John. You say we can. No, but John, one more question to you. You say we can't play like that because we're not Man City. Why can Brighton play the way that Brighton do?
I don't know. I can't answer that. Okay. I can't answer that. Brighton are
3-0 up at Anfield. Fucking 3-0 up at Anfield.
Have they got world-class players all over their team?
No, not at all.
Drew 3-3.
But they have obviously hang on a minute. They have obviously got. Listen, let's be honest. Most of the players Brighton buy, none of us have ever heard of, right? So what they have got, they've got a great scout network. So whoever's the manager, you can get all these players for peanuts from Spain, Cucurella, players who no one really knew. Let's be honest. And they've all bought into the ethos. So the scouting network there has to take a little bit because that was happening pre-Potter and after Potter. The way even now he's gone, they're still playing the same way. So I think it's a lot to do with the scouting network as well, personally.
Yeah, no, but the scouting network don't set the team up and get them playing football like that. That comes from the manager and the coaching staff, John.
No, I mean that's another conversation in its own right. I mean we've got a new chief fucking go out and getter in the place now, and we've identified and gone and got some really big names. I mean, you know, Scamacca, Paqueta. I'm going to keep saying Paqueta because that's the way it's in my head now, right?
Yeah. So do
you know what I mean? Like Kira and stuff, right? We've made some great acquisition. Kira, for fuck's sake, I'm going to say it again, £10 million. That geezer looks all of £40 million, £50 million worth of defender. I'm sorry. German international. He's the first person on the German team sheet as well. Absolutely superb acquisition. And more importantly, we have persuaded them to come and play for us. We're not in the Premier League. We're not in the Champions League, rather. You know, in fact, we're not even in the proper European competition. We're in, you know, the two-bob version. And we've still persuaded these players to come. All right, there's got to be money involved. All right, we're in London. But it's our hard work that we've done over the last 2 seasons where we've been punching away at that top 6, top 7. It'll come good. It will come good with good old-fashioned effort and concentration, which is what we've seen a glimmer of today. But I don't think what we're all saying here is a million miles away from what.
No,
we're all agreeing with one another, but we're just saying it loudly. I think.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but that's what I'm saying. So some people will just be accepting of anything, and I think it's fine to be accepting of that style of football. When you haven't just spent 180 million, when you haven't got fucking these types of players and everything else. But I don't think it's too much to ask to be able to compete with. And when I say compete, I know we beat them, and we beat them easily today, Wolves. But there's other teams that we'll come up against. We're playing. I'll tell you what, Fulham are going to be a big test. I hope it's true what I read in the chat.
Mitrovic is out.
Mitrovic is out because I tell you what, they are a tremendously fucking well coached team. They really are.
Very well drilled.
They're very well drilled. They're good off the ball. They're good on the ball. So we're not a tremendous.
Nick, I don't want to break it down. I don't want to break it down player by player, but from the teams that we would traditionally compete with, the Evertons, like the Brightons in more recent years and all that.
Michael's on Zoom again.
Brennan's just having a close up of his booze.
I'm just going to get a drink. Keep chatting, Fraff.
Go on.
Right. I know whose squad I would rather have. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want Everton's squad. There's like, if you lined our squad up next to Everton's squad, there might be 2 or 3 swaps, right? And I'm not going to count names because it's pointless. You know, Newcastle as well. Probably the richest club in the world now, right? You know, they're struggling to get people because they're not just going out and buying willy-nilly and not doing the old Robinho to Man City route. They're going out, they're actually buying quite astutely. But there's not many that I would swap over for our squad.
No,
you know,
no, but honestly, player for player,
getting them to fucking gel and work together, mate.
It is. But player for player, we've got an incredibly impressive group of players now. We have still got weaknesses. We've still got a few weaknesses that need resolving. But on the whole, a different type of coach could do something different with that team. Now, what I'm saying is, this is what we've said before, and even if it isn't Dave, because David Moyes doesn't coach. He doesn't coach the fucking. Well, no, look, this is the thing. These managers, David Moyes is the most divisive manager since Sam Allardyce. Because some people,
I'm sick of. I'm sick of him being compared to Sam Allardyce.
No, John.
I think he's disgusting. I'm sorry.
I'm making a comparison with the effect on the fan base. There were some people with Sam Allardyce who think he's safe hands. They don't give a fuck about the style of football because it's all about the points. It matters. Nothing else matters. And you can't question the manager. And then there are other people out there who like watching good football. It's a bit of probably a 50-50 split. There are some people out there, a lot of them. Some people are just going to be happy because they think David Moyes is safe hands. He's always going to do this. He's always going to do that. Other people are going to go, this football is shit. Why are we watching this?
Do you think our football is shit compared to the Allardyce years at the moment? How do you think it stacks up to the Allardyce years?
Well, I don't think Allardyce had the resources.
No. I don't think you can compare all right, it. Allardyce has given 150 million. We've just spent 150 million on players, right? Allardyce has the same amount of money. right?
What did Allardyce do at Bolton when he had the likes of JJ Okocha and players like that? Did they play decent football? Was that all right? Was that decent to watch?
He got Okocha and Djorkaeff when they were in their twilight years. They had about 18 months, 2 seasons in them. And they were looking for a big payout.
I'm not a Southgate. I'm not a Southgate. I'm not an Allardyce fan. But
he's twisting right on Southgate now. Fucking hell.
Yeah, fuck Southgate. Definitely don't want him.
I think we'd all agree on that one, mate.
Yeah, I don't want Southgate. But no. With in terms of look, I'm not saying the football is exactly the same, but there are elements of their management that is similar. They're very stuck in their fucking ways. They're very stubborn. They're not forward-thinking managers. Okay, they're not. They don't play football in the modern style. So if you look at the way that Brentford play with Thomas Frank, if you look at the way that Fulham are playing with Marco Silva, if you look at the way that Brighton were playing with Potter, there are different types of coaches out there.
Hang on a minute. Okay, let me just say something quickly about Marco Silva. He's fouled at a lot of clubs already in this country, Everton, Hull, to name but a few. Go on.
I'm not saying I want Marco Silva.
All right. What I would say to that then is we've just had 2 seasons back to back under Moyes, or season and a half, however you want to chop that up, right?
Yeah.
Where we've had for our club relative success. Okay. In the modern era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you then and I'm just putting it out there, Nick, and this isn't just for you. No one's picking on you, mate. Yeah, everyone can answer this, right?
Yeah.
No. In all seriousness, right?
No, just pick on him.
Discussion point, because we're all mates. And
honestly,
it's a chat, right?
Yeah.
We've all got access to Grime, whatever we look at.
Yeah.
Why would you look to change that wholesale? Like, if you're Moyes, if you're sitting there, you're David Moyes, why would you look to change that wholesale when you've done so fucking well for the last 2 years, but it ain't quite working now? What isn't quite working?
But the thing is, Phil, it ain't not quite working now. It's been 10 months to a year.
Yeah. Yes.
That's how long it's been. And then you'll have John shaking his head going, no, they had the Europa to concentrate on.
Can I say something?
We've been shit.
They had the Europa to concentrate on.
We've been shit in the league since the start of the year.
Last 10 games, I think the last third of the Premiership almost. And then this season,
yeah. It's not been good. So the fact of the matter is, and that's
have we been found out then? Is that what it is?
Mate.
Last year, I'll be honest, Nick. Last year, I put it down to a bit of fatigue because of all the games we played.
We were a surprise. We were a surprise package. We were a surprise package. We were strong. Okay. We were very good on the break. And then what happened is
John's thinking about a surprise package.
David Moyes has even said he's been found out. But now I don't know what he's waiting for. I don't know whether he's waiting for people to stop showing us respect so that his counter-attack starts working.
Let me just put this question up, because this is the sort of question that me and Nick debate all the time, right? Because don't get me wrong,
No way.
No, shut up a minute. Just shut up a minute. I wanna watch exciting football, of course I do. But as a football club, the first and foremost thing is the result. So Nick, or let's start with Michael and Phil first, because me and Nick have done this till the cows come home. Michael, what's better, winning boring or losing exciting?
Who's going first?
What are you saying every week? I mean, if you're saying that,
I'm just asking in general. I'm asking in general because.
But what I'm saying is there's different ways of answering.
No. You that's a rubbish question as well.
If you say, no, look, what I'm saying is
there's a middle ground. There is a middle ground.
No, Phil, if you say winning boring wins me the league, yes, win boring. If you're saying win boring to get mid fucking table, no, I don't want to say that.
That's a valid point. Win boring, Mourinho win the league.
Yeah.
Happy days, right? No one wants to see Mourinho as our manager and finish 8th, 10th, or 8th.
Because you know what the other end of the spectrum is. If you win boring in your middle table, you're Burnley. That's what you are.
I was going to say I'm probably the oldest one here, but yeah. Michael is just.
He's a granddad. Right? He must be fucking old. He's a granddad.
Yeah. Listen, that's Michael. That's a mark of respect. Old boy. Sorry, no. But but collectively, we've got a lot of years. We've probably got near on 100 and whatever plus years of watching West Ham collectively here, right? we've seen. I started in the 70s. Okay, so I've seen the boys of '86. I've seen, from the Trevor Brookins and the Alan Devonshire is my absolute hero, all the way up to what we're looking at today. I've seen us play really well and lose and get, come away from Upton Park and go, fucking hell, like, how did we not win that? We battered them today, Oh, we didn't take our chances, or, the old Cluffy, they float like a butterfly and sting like a butterfly comment about West Ham, right? And then I've seen the Allardyce, which is the other end of that spectrum, which is I don't understand they want to fucking win games or not, And it was dire. It was dire at times, especially. The setup is not too different to how we play now. There's some tinkering involved.
It actually isn't.
Oh my!
It's not that far, John. It's not that far, but we play more of a.
They're pragmatic.
Over the years,
they're both pragmatic.
Of a counter-attack. Whereas Allardyce didn't play that. He played a solid 5 or 4 blocks and then try and pick it up to Andy Carroll and hold the ball up.
Allardyce,
some of the best football we played. I would even argue with myself. Some of the best football we played in modern times was under Allardyce in the Championship.
In the Championship,
because we played 4-3-3 then.
I know,
and we mullered people.
Phil, can I say
when we went up to the Premier League or Premiership or whatever someone wants to call me out
Premier
for,
League.
He went, we can't afford to lose games, and then sat
Phil,
back.
Can I just say something about the way that we played today, which was really good. But basically, in a Sam Allardyce typical team, Skamaka was Andy Carroll.
Yeah. But he's a lot more fucking mobile than Carroll.
A lot more mobile.
Nick, I think we've spoken about it before, Nick, and I think you basically said to me, we're not arguing, by the way, me and Nick. This is how me and Nick always carry on. You said to me that Allardyce would do better with this team than Moyes, I think. I'll say it along them lines.
We would never know. Moyes has spent $350 million in 2.5 years. He spent as much as Arteta. Put that in perspective. Yeah. Moyes has spent as much as Mikel Arteta.
Where's Arteta got Arsenal to? Has he got them to European semis?
Well, I don't know if you've seen
Arsenal. Have they won the league yet? Have they won the league yet? Would you rather get to
a fucking brilliant team?
Would I rather get to a Europa semi-final? That ain't winning nothing, John.
Have you not seen Arsenal?
Always finishing second, third, or fourth. Ain't winning nothing either.
Why do we keep using that as an example? We got to a Europa semi-final.
Because
we choked in the Europa semi-final with 2 legs.
Do you want us to sign Party?
What is the point? What is finishing third or fourth in the league? What is that? You don't win nothing for that. I know we didn't win nothing for finishing losing in the semi-final, but we were pushing for that cup, no?
You get about another 80 million in your coffers from the Champions League, mate. Yeah, and you get to play the cream of Europe, and we have some great fucking weeks, days away as well. But
yeah. Like, rather than playing Viborg, you're playing the likes of Sevilla and Lyon like we were last year. It's obviously it goes up a level.
Yeah, but you're Milan, Juve,
Atletico
and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've been told off here, John. If there is a straw in your drink, you better start clutching it. Listen. I think I'm not Moyes' biggest fan, but I'm not going to bemoan him and slag him off and throw him under the bus and compare him to big-headed Sam Allardyce, who stuck his 2 fingers up to the fan base and threw a lot of kids in the team and got hammered at Forest just to spite the club, right? So that's what I'm saying. Comparing
that's
him
the
to
man.
Him,
but that's the man. What? You're talking about the man in terms of their in terms of the way they play football.
The man is the manager. The manager is the man. It's the same. Embodies the same thing.
Okay. Whoa. If you're talking about Mike. If you're talking about morals, how about the way that David Moyes treated Krau? How about the way he treated Vlasic? How about the way he treats How about the way he's treating Downs, Mr. fucking moral high ground, who's amazing.
Whoa. How is he? Okay. How is he mistreating those players that he feels aren't good enough to get into the first team? It's not. It's just a professional. He sees them train all the time. It's his professional opinion to say, I don't think you're good enough to sit in there against the likes of Wolves or Man United this weekend. Sorry, you're not good enough. You go on the bench if we need to shore it up. Like Downs, as much as we all love him, he's a West Ham boy and all the rest of it. Is he good enough for the Premiership at the moment? All right, we don't know.
We're never going to find out.
I've seen him away at Ipswich at the start of the pre-season. He looked pedestrian for me, and I know he had a great game in Europe. He's done really, really well. But Moyes has been very public in saying he's got to step up in training. He's got to, he's got House, Rice, and Souček. He's got a fucking job on his hands.
Yeah, he's very public with players that are outside of his circle. But when he's got players like Soufal who have been shit week in, week out, he never publicly criticised them. When he's got today and Bowen who's been poor. But he never criticises.
And Bowen's done well today.
But he never criticises his players.
We've had a 2-week break and he's given them a kick up the arse. Right, he's had a 1-week break.
The reason Soufal's pretty much been left alone so far this season is because Ben Johnson got injured. We didn't have enough centre-backs back. Bonner is not fully fit. Dawson's just come back. And as soon as Dawson's available, he's dropped Soufal. I'm not saying he's not protected him to some degree, but he maybe didn't have the opportunity to drop him for anybody.
In my opinion, against any other team who's not in the bottom three like Wolves, he doesn't put Dawson in as a starter there. He continues with Kera and Kufau on the right. For me, it's like you said, Nick. He's had the opportunity, but like the Antonio opportunity, where it's like, oh well, it's not a top team. They're struggling at the moment as well. He's just come back off the plane flight. We can drop him down. Why don't we try and Kera out there? Well, it's not even trying Kera out there because he knows he's top fucking draw out there because he plays there for fucking Germany.
Yeah, no, I know. But look. At the end of the day, we're going to find out how this goes. Like I said, I've been here before. With more. I hope he builds on it. I hope we start seeing better football. I do. Well, let's see what happens with it. The results will save him anyway. So if he gets the wins, he's fine. But the fact of the matter is though, David Moyes as a manager, with the way that he plays, is always going to be divisive to the West Ham fan base.
Yes. Well, he wasn't last season, was he? It's only this season that it started coming to a head.
It's because we're not winning.
I mean, he wasn't.
What?
It's the same about.
It's boring football.
But listen, Mike. I've said I would like to watch more exciting football. I agree with you across that, right? I'm not saying any different, but I'm not going to start sitting here saying Moyes is like Allardyce. Moyes is a terrible manager. He has his flaws. I understand that. He builds from the back. He was a centre back. It don't excuse it, but it's factual, right? Not going to say any different to you. But what I'm saying is the fan base weren't as divided over Moyes last season since December when the league form was shit. Because we had a distraction, something papering over the cracks. Whatever. But now, it's only come to a head because our start to this season hasn't been particularly brilliant, right? Results-wise. Today, for me, the most important thing today for me was the 3 points. That's it. If you're in a relegation battle, that everyone was saying we was, 3 points was important today.
But I don't think we.
I'll agree with that, John. And I think the other thing.
I don't think we were. I don't think we were in a relegation battle at this point. We're not. We're in a relegation. No, I never said that. We're in a relegation zone. That's not what I've been saying. I said we're in a relegation zone. The most important thing at this point. That's why I wanted to see changes, because he could have stuck with his existing players and grounded out a fucking 1-0 win. His original players probably would have beat that team anyway. But what I'm saying to you is what we wanted to see today was an improvement, something that we're working towards. That's what I wanted to see. So that, because we're not obviously in a relegation fight after 7 games. We're not. But we would have learned nothing from today. We did learn something. We learned that David Moyes can change his team. He has done that. But we've also seen that he's changed his team before, like he did against Villa, for instance. And then he can recoil. So we will see what happens against Fulham, who I think are a better team.
What worries me is 7 points in 7 games. That's what worries me. So if we ain't going to change it around, that relegation zone really turns into a relegation battle very, very quickly, mate.
Yeah, that's a good question.
A point a game is not good enough to stay up in the Premiership.
What would you take there, Phil?
Sorry.
Look at the question. Look at the question on screen, Phil. The question on screen from Mandy. Give us your answer on that, mate. Come on.
I'd take top three.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, because you're in the Champions League, and then you're about the next season.
John, the only reason I'm quivering on this is because I've seen this in the Europa semi-final and two-legged final. I think the one-legged final we would have won that, and like Criswell doesn't fuck up. Two-legged final, it was a great. I went to Frankfurt, and it was fantastic atmosphere, and it was great, and it brings memories. But that top three in the league isn't just one game. It isn't a couple of games. It's a whole season. It's 10 months of football. And it's like, fucking hell, what are we going to nick here, boys? Yeah. And at the end of that feeling, even if you come third, it's like, come on, how well have we done? You know, it's...
And that's the thing. Do you know something? And I will say this.
You know, if she'd have said winning the Europa or top three, it's winning the Europa.
Can I ask you a question?
I'll go for top three, I think.
Can I ask you a question now, gentlemen? Right? What are the chances of West Ham in the next 5 years getting in the top four?
Never.
Right?
Never.
David Moyes had a golden fucking chance to get us in that top four, and he did not go out and invest in that January. That's probably maybe one of the last chances that we will ever get of going out and getting in that top four, right? And that is one of the only chances. He didn't do it. What did he say? We'll only buy players that are better than what we've got. Now, he's gone out in this fucking window and bought a load of players that can't get in his team.
What do you mean can't get in his team? They're in the team now, aren't they?
Not all of them.
No,
Downs, no, they're not.
With the exception of Downs, they are better.
Let me just say.
No, I don't want to sign any players.
No, it's like when you play like a fantasy league, right? Or football manager or whatever, you incrementally get a player above what you've got at the moment and do it again and again. And that raises the whole standard up. That's what he means, and it makes sense. And with the exception of Downs, because I don't think Downs is as good as Souček or Rice. Sorry, I don't.
You really cannot.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's just not on their level yet. Then I think we've done that.
The thing is with Downs,
they've just not. They've got to, with the exception of Cornet, who's played in the Premiership, the others haven't. So we've got to bet them in.
The one thing I'd say about Downs is this: is that he might not be getting in the team yet. I think he will, right? But he will be gaining so much more training on a daily basis with these players, with all due respect, than playing week in, week out with Ipswich players, I think, personally. But,
I agree.
But, however, I would like to see him used in Europa or whatever it's called. What's it called? I think he has to start the Conference League games at the very least, like he did against Bucharest. And then we was all surprised when he didn't play against Silkeborg or whatever. So for me, to enhance his development, if Moyes says he isn't good enough to get in the team yet, he needs to play him in games. And the games he needs to play him in most definitely is the Europa Conference League. If Moyes doesn't, then Moyes is a little bit hanging himself out to dry there.
Moyes didn't. He didn't play him. He got man of the match.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying to you. Yes, that's what I'm saying to you. On Thursday, on Thursday against Anderlecht, I know it's Anderlecht. They're meant to be a good team, Belgium, blah blah blah. But I'd still want to see Downs start and play that game.
Right, gentlemen, I'm gonna slam the brakes on. Let's get these player ratings done.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Bit of organisation.
Yeah, sort it out, Nick, for God's sake.
Okay.
Who are we starting with?
Well, Areola is Fabianski. I can't be bothered to change his icon.
That's lazy, Nick. That is lazy.
Start with the keeper.
You sound like Moyes. He can't be bothered to change him either.
I know.
Do you know what? For me, I think he was a bit unsung today. I wouldn't put him as man of the match by any means. He
saved a few good.
He was proper steady today. Yeah. He had there's a couple of chances today that I've seen him spill those against other teams, and I thought he was really steady today.
7.
Right, with that, go on, Phil. Give us your score for Fabianski.
I would go 7. Yeah,
you go 7.
The one thing about him, though, what I don't get about Fabianski is when we get goal kicks, it takes
Phil, Phil, we're getting feedback. Your microphone, mate. I don't know why.
Really? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We the only thing about Fabianski is why does it take him so long to take a goal kick? It takes forever.
Ex-Arsenal.
It literally, I'm just like, pass the bloody ball to someone. What are you doing? He's so slow. It just, but he did do some good saves, and he took a gregreat late catch above Costa's head.
He did.
The game.
Yeah.
He came
I think it's a high 7. A high 7 for me. I think he was very good, but obviously we don't do decimals on this channel. So, right, John, I'm going to give you Cresswell.
I thought he started all right, but I think most definitely when Traore went on his side, he started getting roasted. And like Phil said, surprised Traore didn't go up against him earlier on in the game. I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was great either. I'd say low 6.
Give him a 6. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What are people saying in the chat? They all saying the same thing.
In the chat, yeah, most people are giving him 6s.
I would have said 6. Yeah,
there's a few. He weren't brilliant, but he was all right. He did get roasted by Traore. We know he's always going to get roasted by him because of his pace. So it was a bit expected.
Right, Zuma next. Mike, talk to me.
Zuma.
Yeah.
Ooh, 8.
8. Fair enough. Go on.
I thought
he played well. Yeah. That's a high score.
He dealt with everyone. He dealt with everything. And there's one thing where he just put his foot in just to take the ball away. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
He was very good today. So I mean, there were. I mean, we'll find out as we go on. But there were actually some good performances today, individually.
Are we letting Michael? Are we letting Michael give him an 8?
We're going to let him give him an 8. We're going to get. Really? I mean, what are people saying in the chat?
I'd say 7.
7s. Majority is the average in the chat. Neil from Down Under 7.
7, 8. So
there is a couple of 8s. Yeah, someone give him a 9. Riley give him a 9. Oh, wow.
Okay.
I'll do
Dulcelino.
Yeah, I'll do Dawson. I think again a good solid 8. I think he was superb.
Definitely 8.
In this game, he was brilliant today. Like John alluded to earlier on, none more so than when Traore come on and
and he absolutely bashed him out the way. That was fucking brilliant.
Let his presence be felt very, very quickly. So yeah, that's Dawson. Right, Phil, Kera.
Kera 8, solid 8 for me. A high 8, in fact. 8.5 if you're not doing points.
Yeah, no, he was good. His distribution was brilliant. I mean, the only thing that I would probably mark him down for, if I'm honest, was early on in the game, he dived in when he shouldn't have, and they should have scored. They should have fucking scored.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's quite robust with his tackling as well. He lets people know he's there, definitely.
Yeah, but that was bad from him. I think
that was in the area. Was that in the area? That was on the edge of the area.
It was in the area.
Give him his due. He ratcheted back from that, and then on the back of that, he was superb. He was just closing people down, and like his distribution was really, really good. It was nothing silly, and he tried to let Bowen go whenever he could as well.
Yeah.
Cornet next. Just go Cornet next, Nick.
Right, go on then, John. I'll give it. Go on, Phil. Phil, go on. Tell us about Cornet.
I didn't see enough of him really because I didn't see a lot of the first half. If I'm being absolutely honest, so I'd like someone else to mark him.
Talk to us about Cornet.
Cornet, I know he's only on the pitch for 35-40 minutes or something.
He got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, he got injured. I know Michael really rates this guy, and yeah, no, that's fine. I haven't seen enough of him at Burnley, and I haven't seen enough of him yet. I know I'm judging him on today's game. He was unlucky to go off injured. I did feel today
he was average.
He went down too easily. He was too soft. Yeah. He was a little bit overly theatrical. But because he was only on the pitch a little while, didn't get to see him full game. I'll give him a 6. But I want him to stay on his feet a bit more and show us what he can do.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play.
We go. Let's go Souček next.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do Souček. Yeah. I don't think he had I know there's a lot of people saying he had a terrible game. Look, Souček, he had one of his better games this season. I think he was given a job to do today, and I think he did it. He's always going to have misplaced passes because technically he's not the best. We know that. But he did do a lot of good stuff today. There was a lot of breaking up play. I think he was very disciplined. He weren't marauding upfield, which pisses me off because I think he gets in the way when he does that. He didn't do but he does. I think he gets in the way when he marauds out. Like this, where you want Paqueta and Bowen and Scamacca.
Do you know? It reminds me of when he goes up, when he pushes up. He's like a dinosaur on the loose, isn't he? He just
yeah. I know. So I think 7 is 7 fair for Souček today. I think he was. Yeah. It was a decent game. I think he had a decent game today.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's go Rice. Give Michael Rice because he don't want him to be captain either. So
no, I don't.
Don't be brutal, Mike. Come on, he's there.
Well, I know I'm going to go against the grain with everyone in the world. I don't think this guy should be our captain.
I know, but no, it's his rating. He's match rating.
Rating him for the game.
Rating him for the game.
He did nothing today in this game to make me feel like he is the captain of our team. Nothing.
I don't think he was that bad. I think there was a couple of moments where he miscontrolled the ball.
He fucking stopped running when people were defending. He stopped. He gave the fucking ball away. He stopped running.
Right, I'm going. I'm saying. Listen, for the sake of, I'm going to give you Paqueta, Mike. John, tell me about Rice. Go on, tell me about Rice.
He wasn't brilliant today. He had a lot of heavy touches. I think he had a lot of heavy touches. By his standards, he wasn't superb. But he was good enough. I mean, Michael's obviously got a grudge to bear. A bear to grudge, whatever you called it. But I'll go with the majority and say a 7. I don't think he was terrible.
He weren't bad. I mean,
we'll give him a 7.
What, you gave Zuma an 8 for kicking the ball away.
You think Zuma was that much better than? I mean, that's crazy.
Zuma just booted the ball and you give him an 8, and you're telling me.
Right, Mike, go on, Mike. You can have Paqueta. Go on.
No, he's rubbish. No, he's not playing. They're not playing. He gets a 6 because we're not playing to his strengths. To be fair,
I don't think he was great today.
Really good pass. He did make a couple of really good passes, but 6. That's it.
Okay. All right. No, that is fine. Okay. Right. We'll go to Phil for Bowen.
I think Bowen was back to his best today, and I will give him a solid 8. He was looking to push on, run behind, and I would ask everyone on chat and everyone here, have a look at that goal again tonight, because
tremendous. Yeah,
that was superb. It looks really easy. It looks almost accidental, but the 2 touches that he makes, the first touch to control that spinning ball is madness.
Yeah.
Then he heads it back into space. And then as it's dropping, he should, like you or I would have taken another touch there. He doesn't. He takes it first time, and that's how he scores the goal.
I wouldn't have.
Phil, don't judge me, mate. You ain't seen me play ball, mate. Yeah, don't tell me what I'm doing.
Sorry, Johnny. I mean,
Right.
You're a wizard, mate. But you know,
so you go an 8, Phil.
But all day long, just on that goal, if not.
No,
and then the matches.
Go on, you can have. Well, I think he's up there with our star man. Go on, Scamacca. What did you think about him today?
For me, I think he was absolutely immense. I think he was the focal point of most of our best stuff. He was almost like a playmaker at times, bringing everyone into the game. I think he was our man of the match without a shadow of a doubt. Even if he wouldn't have. He did miss an opportunity when Bowen had a shot that spilled out the keeper.
Oh, that was a rubbish fucking thing.
Yeah, but
that was very early doors.
It didn't hinder him throughout the game. He didn't dwell on it. He got on with it. He had some great touches, some great control. Some of his passing was sublime. Some of his headers into his teammates were just superb. Which the likes of
there is a rumor that his free kick still hasn't landed. Though
his free kick was poor, I'll give him that. But if we're giving Zuma an 8 for kicking the ball away, like Michael said, then for me, Scamacca has got to get a 9.
He was excellent. He was excellent.
He was excellent. All round excellent today, and I'd like to see him get a run in the team. I'd like to see him get a run in the Premier League now and just play all the time in the Premier League, especially. You know,
we might get the subs as well.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly whiz through them. So I'll tell you what, we go 4 first. Phil.
Well, I'm a massive fan of La Paqueta General, so I'm going to say a solid 7. I think he was done his job today.
That's fine. I think he was all right.
The toilet. Look, he's
I think he was all right when he came on. Right. I'm going to go Mike for Antonio.
What? Oh,
rate him. Rate Antonio.
I'm rating you, mug.
What? Right from when he came on.
Yeah.
Well, no, from when he was on the bench.
Look. What do you reckon? A 6? A 6?
Oh.
He was all right, wasn't
he? Yeah, 6. Okay, then.
He was all right. I was impressed with Emerson when he came on. I thought he looked really positive. I've got to be honest. I can't give him any more than a 6 because he wasn't on the pitch long enough. But I thought he looked really positive when he came on.
But you know why, didn't you?
He let a geezer
but you know,
him.
Emerson's a far better. Emerson's far better going forward than defending. You know that, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But so when he came on, he was given a forward role a little bit more. He was a bit more forward, and I think he looked very good when he came on. I agree. He was very positive in taking the ball to the defenders. You know.
Yeah. Right, and then lastly, but by no means least, I'll tell you what, if I had one for the referee on it today, I'd give that fucker a 3 because he was terrible.
Mate, he was shocking.
I thought he was bad. Yeah, he was smug as well. On the TV, he was really irritating me.
Who was it?
Really irritating. Can't remember his name now. He was a right brat.
Friend?
Yeah.
No fucking
I think it
friend
was. I think you're right.
Let me tell you that.
I thought he was trying to let the game play. Because he was telling people to get up and get on with it. And I was like, no, fair play to him. You don't often see that in the Premiership. And then they give a really innocuous foul for absolutely nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it completely killed the flow of the game.
Yeah.
The ref deserves a donkey head, says Trini.
He was bad. He was really bad.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Right, okay. David Moyes, for me, I'll say we'll all give our opinion on Moyes. But for me, I think I'll give him a 6. I'll give him an average for that. I think I don't think he set the team up. It's only he set the team up badly. He set the team up badly. We didn't play amazing football. I think the players did him proud today. He got them motivated. He proved that they're on his side, which is good. That's a positive. You know, they obviously fought for him today. But I think it was more player for player. We beat them today. I didn't necessarily like the football. Like I say, I watched it back. I did my initial reaction, which I posted. And then I watched the game again, and I thought, "Oh fuck me!" It was quite poor. So for me, I'd give him a 6, which is average.
Why didn't anyone celebrate with him?
What?
When Skamaka scored, why didn't anyone celebrate with him?
Because he ran away. Because he ran his way. He ran away and cupped his ear to the fan base.
Yeah.
Why was he cupping his ear?
No, he doesn't cup his ear. That's his celebration.
Not cupping his ear, but he did. I don't know what he did, but he ran around.
Yeah, but it's a weird celebration. But he done it in Italy as well. It's not cupping his ear. That's what I mean. It's going to take us some getting used to. He literally puts his finger on his ear. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't really like it, but it's what he does.
We don't like that sort of thing.
That was it.
No.
This is his celebration, but then he went like that afterwards. Like, I got one.
Yeah,
I fucking got one at last.
What's Michael suggesting that the players don't like him?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
No,
I don't know how people get to this stuff.
Nonsense.
Where'd you get that from?
Mike, what would you give Moyes for a rating? I've given him a 6.
Tonight.
We're going an average. We're going an average rating. Go on. You give him a 5. Phil, what would you give him?
John, give him a 9, right? And it will be average.
It's fine. I've given him a 6. I don't care what you give him.
You're giving him an average, right? So you say he was average today.
Yeah.
I think he was above average. I think he was 7 because he did change the formation. He did change the players. He did all of the above. The performance wasn't brilliant, but that is sometimes down to various things, whatever you want to call it. But he did what we wanted. He did what we wanted, what we all called for to some extent. So it's above average for him because he's been stubborn all season. Right?
That's fine. You've gone 7. So Phil's gone 7. John's gone 7.
I'll go with a 7 because a couple of bits weren't working out. Cornet going off injured. meant he had to make a change. And you're right, Nick. I know what you're thinking straight away. Well, it could have been Benny. It didn't have to be Fornals.
Emerson. I was thinking Emerson.
He saw that we was losing possession in that midfield, and I think Fornals is better for breaking stuff up than Benny is. So he made that decision. I would say an average performance for Moyes is a 7, and I'd give him a 7.
That's fine. Well, you've gone 7. John's gone 7. Mike's gone 5. I've gone 6.
You've gone 6.
I'll tell you what. We'll go. We'll do a decimal. I'll tell you what. We'll be nice.
No,
for Moyes only, we'll go 6.5. There you go. So just for Moyes.
That's what his missus is going to enjoy tonight.
I agree. Let's fucking pretend this twat down here is a referee. We give him a donkey. Because he was shit. He was bad, that referee today. He was bad. Okay, man of the match. It doesn't have to be based on the one who got the highest, because I know a lot of people think that Bowen was man of the match today. So we will go based on the chat. So John, you can do the count up. If you ask everyone what they think their man of the match was.
Get involved.
I think it was Scamacca.
For me, I think it was as well. I think it was.
Let's throw that consideration in there that he did only play 60 minutes of the game.
Black Country said Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson was great. Dawson was great.
Yeah.
He was great, Dawson. And I love Dawson, I do. But I think Scamacca today showed pure class. He was elegant on the ball. He looked.
Yes.
Scamacca just looked. He looks super. He's a sexy man.
Yeah.
In the way he looks, but also the way he plays. He's just class.
John, is there something you want to open up about here, mate?
Well, no. All I would say is that when and if Dawson leaves in January or in the summer, Scamacca will be my new man crush. That's all. I don't care.
I'll tell you what. Left field up. I always respect Ken.
He's influenced the game the most.
Kent's come out. Kent's come out and said Kera for man of the match. That's quite an interesting one.
He was good. He was very good today. Like you said, there were some good performances out there. There was 3 or 4 players. If I look at, I would say Scamacca, Bowen,
Kera for me.
Scamacca, Dawson, Bowen, and Kera.
Yeah.
My missus says Scamacca, even if he ain't on.
Sorry, I didn't say that.
There's some people that are saying Bowen. So there's a couple for Bowen. I think it is Scamacca, though, isn't it? There's more for Scamacca there.
Yeah, Scamacca wins.
He was absolutely superb. In the 60 minutes he was on the pitch.
But this does kind of prove our point that we were talking about earlier on. It wasn't the best team performance. It wasn't vintage, but there were a lot of above average good performances there, like good performances from players. It was a good performance individually, but we weren't playing. It weren't clicking. It weren't clicking.
A lot of players got back to basics. A lot of players got back to pretty much the level that we know they can play at.
Not a bad thing, John.
Yeah.
No, listen. My missus always tells me I'm average, so I just want to be average, and that's what you want them to be. Play to their strengths. Hey, look, Kent Hammers. This is the word I wanted to use, I suppose.
Average, mate. Never.
Scamacca has a velvet touch and the balance of a world-class dancer. Smooth.
Kids been watching too much of
Strictly
dancing program, Strictly or whatever.
Oh, look at Phil. Phil pretending he don't know the name of the dancing.
Mate, I don't watch that crap. Honestly, I don't.
I have to watch it. I have to watch it.
What's that? What was that one?
I do. 7
tonight. Brennan, what was you on about tonight? Secret dancer or something?
Oh, the mask dancer.
Oh, is that it?
God, Michael, you need to get out more, mate.
Exactly.
The girls love it.
Do you ever read
use the girls as an excuse? You probably watch it on your own. Don't lie.
Well, my girls love it.
He took it off speed so he sees all the movements.
We've got some more tattoos going on tomorrow.
I've just noticed Michael's changed hats during the program.
Yeah, I know he has. He's changed costume. Yes.
Just hats.
But yeah, I think we'll round it up for tonight. I've got an early start tomorrow. Is Freddie playing tomorrow, John?
Yes, he is playing against AFC Wimbledon tomorrow.
Good. Is that an early one or a later one?
No, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff, so it's not too bad because the marathon's on. Because the London Marathon's on, isn't it? So a lot of
John, there's some debate who your boy plays for. Can you just clarify for us?
What?
We were talking on our group chat earlier on today who he plays for, and it
Leighton Orient.
Orient, didn't it? Orient.
Yeah. Orient. Yeah.
Small team in West Ham, isn't they?
That's it. Yes. Whereas I've got to be up at 9 to get over to Potter's Bar tomorrow. So, yes. So we're gonna. So we will bid you all farewell. John, do you want to close the show?
Yeah, I suppose if I have to.
Go on, mate.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We'd like to thank you. A special thank you to Michael Brennan, also known as Father Jack, who does add a little bit of humour to the show. Yeah, there's no need for that. And he also disgusts people in the same breath. Thank you to Phil. Thanks for coming on, Phil. Do appreciate it, mate.
Cheers, Phil.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Very
Thank
intelligent.
you, gentlemen.
Thanks to Nick for arguing with me again, as we love to do. So if you have liked the show and you've watched it and you like what you've seen, then don't forget, give it a like. Why not subscribe? And if you hit the bell notification, that's basically telling you when Nick, who is a big bell, is usually on having a show. So yeah, join the show. Watch us on Claret and Booze. We'll be back in the week, Nick, with some daily shows, won't we?
We will be, mate. We will be. Yeah. So it's all systems go now. When we play,
thanks everyone for watching.
We've got a European game on Thursday, haven't we? This week.
Yeah, Anderlecht.
Yeah, of course we have. Yeah,
that'll be a tough game.
There's some fucking games in this month. There's like 9 games now, isn't there? In October.
Isn't it a game every 3 days or something silly?
Yeah. Good luck. That's going to be going to be West Ham overload, but I love it. Right, all right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching, people.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.